back to another episode of NASCAR in the style of Charlie Roach, along with the Massel James Sullivan.
How's it going, motherfuckers?
Welcome to a special race day edition. We had some technical difficulties to Thursday night doing it, but here we are on Sunday, right before the race starts here at Watkins Glen. Well, before we go to that, let's talk about what happened last Sunday.
Last week, for that
Last
matter,
week.
there was a lot to talk about.
Truck Series, Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain dominated again.
Yeah.
That's
He had a
just
great
Ross
race.
Chastain, man. He does that all the time, man. He just dominates. He's good. He actually might. I think he's gonna win the championship. I think he's the favorite.
That truck series, Jesus Christ. Yeah. We had Eldora, which was awesome.
Eldora. Then we had the Iowa race that Chase Briscoe
Yeah, Chase Briscoe
beat out Christopher Bell, the guy that dominated most that day.
He dominated the entire day.
That race was uneventful, except for one thing. The Dumbass Idiot Award.
Yeah, the Idiot Award, Galactic Dumbass of the Year Award goes to the 90 car.
Didn't like Cusnet or something like that?
Yeah.
Cassetti or something like that?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes tries to
Way
take
to
a
be dumb, guy. Way to be dumb.
goes try to take a pit stop, and the street sweeper, or whatever you want to call it, was sitting there, and he just turns right into it.
Yeah, not smart.
Yeah. That was about it. Other than that, there was Chase Briscoe winning, which was big. So the Iowa race wasn't much. The K&N race that I was at, I went to. Haley didn't do that well, so that's rough.
The Pocono Xfinity race was not
No,
the
they thought it was
truck
truck
race.
race. That's what
was
was
a freaking crash fest early on. They couldn't get through a lap.
Which Stuart Friesen wrecks,
Right.
and then guess what? What does he do? He wins at Eldora.
Yeah.
Now he's in. He went from knocking himself out to getting in. There was no altercations. There was the only one that were up there was the Ricky Stenhouse one, and with Kurt Busch. Sorry, we're gonna get to that. And Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez. We'll get into that too once we start talking about the Cup race. But was there any other crazy things that stuck out?
Well, we wanted to talk about Bowman Gray and
That huge. Oh yes.
God, they had a demolition derby over there.
Yes.
They both got
literally.
suspended and fined. They were going after each other. That was ridiculous.
These were modified, typically.
Yeah,
these are not these are not cheap cars. They're smashing up. These guys. The cops had to get involved. NASCAR had to come down to it.
Right.
That was
NASCAR had to get involved with it. Come on, guys. It's racing.
I love wrecking as much as the other, but when you're literally just doing donuts and just trying to hit each other like literally a demolition derby, then it's
that's not racing.
That's a little too much right there, dude. You're just wrecking up cars.
Way to look like a couple of children.
I agree like that, but at the same time, that's Bowman Gray.
That's the passion of
Bowman
racing.
Gray does that to you, man.
And I'd like to see the passion of racing, but hey, do it in the pits like everybody else does.
Or do in the middle in front of everybody, but out of the cars. That's just as fun too.
Let's have a fight, not to try to destroy the cars. Cars didn't do anything to you.
So that actually reminds me. Let's think back to some of the greatest brawls. What's one brawl that sticks out to you? Some just good ones.
The best one that I remember was turn 3, turn 4 Daytona, 1980 something when Cale Yarborough 79.
78. It was the Blizzard. The Blizzard was that year.
I don't know if it was that year.
Yes, it was because.
But whatever it was, that year. I'll compare all other fights to that one.
The first one I remember Rusty Wallace and I think it was Darrell Waltrip in the All-Star race one year. They were all Brad Keselowski and Jeff Gordon, which is one of my favorite at Texas. That was a fantastic brawl.
We had this year with Clint Boyer and
Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman.
I don't even know. That wasn't even a brawl. That was just a one-on-one slugfest, and it was a one-sided slugfest.
He just reached into that car and started throwing punches.
Speaking of punches, another man that's throwing punches lately, Tony Stewart.
Oh yeah, Tony Stewart,
the man right here, man. Tony Stewart always just throwing punches, man.
Somebody's getting sued.
From appearance, what happened? Some dude was talking trash about Tony's car or something like that. Tony wasn't liking it. Tony's possibly saying leave, go, and then Tony just had enough of it and just
chased him down and caught him with a punch. It wasn't even like anybody that actually saw it knows it wasn't a good punch, but he did connect, and that's assault. Tony's gonna get sued, and that guy's gonna get paid.
Hey, Stewart's the man. He seems to be in anything, so.
Yeah, well, he gets away with anything.
Well, I don't know. Agree to disagree on that with Tony. I like Tony, so.
Well, I mean, hello. Basically, he killed the dude and got away with it.
Well, he says he might, he was saying on Eldora, he might be back in a truck for that race.
No, he wants to be in a truck.
He can. Are you kidding me? He can just build a truck on his own track. He can do it. It's for a race.
It's probably
borrow a truck.
Now, will NASCAR let him? That's another question.
I don't see why they wouldn't. They let him finish off his year and season and all that stuff, and they let him retire. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
He's got a race team. Isn't Stuart Haas half him?
Yeah. So yeah, if he wanted to, he could just bring his own truck and put
Haas
on it, a 00. There you go. Yep, I could see that happening. Actually, you're right.
Right.
It can happen. All right. So now Pocono race itself.
The Pocono race itself, I liked it. I had a good time with that. I think that aero package worked very well there compared to the first time around.
Yeah, we and him were very actually shocked of how great it was. I mean, there was only a couple of wrecks. Like I remember Ryan Preece, he spun out hard.
Right.
Keselowski bounced off the wall a couple of times. Kurt bounced off the wall. That's early. That wasn't even the second wreck.
Right.
But he got taken out.
The racing in general was really good. I mean, they got strung out like they always do, but that's why we have.
It was more like the front three did, and then everybody else was just still clustered. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why we have the stages, to bring them back to freaking together and get back to some good racing. And there was
especially
really good
restarts there.
racing. God damn.
Especially the restarts there.
Yeah, I mean, for the people that love that pure racing, don't freaking touch me, get around me clean kind of racing. Pocono was fantastic for that because there wasn't a lot of that beating and banging, bumping and grinding kind of passing going on. I mean, Eric Jones had nothing to do with it because he couldn't bump into anybody.
Oh, Eric. He finished second, actually.
I know. I was freaking out because of him and Kyle Busch doing so freaking well.
Denny Hamlin ends up winning.
Thank God for Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I'm happy Denny won. That was really good. I was happy. Johnson?
He was one of your picks, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect Denny, I believe.
Yeah.
So, once again, I'll take it on the W.
Most of my picks crashed out or just had bad freaking days.
Well, speaking of picks, remember if you guys followed us on our Facebook page or whatever, we actually set our picks yesterday for the Xfinity race, and me and him were absolutely, totally off.
Yep, we were wrong.
We were absolutely off. Everybody that we
sorry
picked
that anybody that put money on
us.
us. Hey, we're not fucking,
What a save!
geniuses.
What a save by Christopher Bell yesterday.
Oh God, that was a hell of a save.
Yeses when I was like, yep, here we go. That's the big, and then he saves and then he
Nobody
drives off into third. I was like, yeah, Christopher Bell, he's got it. He's definitely good. He deserves to be in the Cup Series next year. He's there. I like him. I like Christopher.
And I gotta give my hat off to Cole Costa for coming from 35th and finishing what, 6th?
Something like that.
Yeah,
he finished pretty well. I was watching him hit Tyler Reddick before. That dude had from the green flag, he was in the grass.
Yeah.
And then, Tyler Reddick had the worst day.
It was just like,
he's had in a while.
It was wacko Reddick. Every time he came up, whap, something happened to him.
Yep. Literally. Yeah. No, he did not have a good race at all.
No, those are my 3 picks right there.
And I was like, I think mine are pretty similar. I didn't even realize AJ Allmendinger was in it. He had a great finish with, who was it? Austin Cindric.
Yeah.
I
didn't realize
Austin Cindric won it.
Ross Chastain was going to be in that race. He's in the race right now. I mean, the race is going on right now. He's in it.
Yeah, we'll see though. He just doesn't have the equipment though.
Yeah, he really doesn't. As far as today's race going, my picks stay the same from the Thursday. Thursday, I said what my pick's going to be, and granted, you guys don't know that because we had technical difficulties and everything got erased. But they're going to still be the same in numerical order: 4, 9, 42, 48. Those are the guys that are going to win.
I've got the 22, the 18, the 19, and I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to say the 24.
Cool. Well, my dark horse picks are, now that I know he's in there, Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace.
My dark horses are going to be Matt DiBenedetto and that's a good one. I'm trying to think of someone that just might come up there. I'm trying to think of smart here.
There's a lot of people that are smart here. You're also going to be lucky.
Yeah. I'll probably, you know what? I think Clint Boyer.
There you go. He's a lucky fuck.
I like Clint Boyer.
He tends to get fucking wicked lucky.
I hope Jimmy Johnson, hope you have a great day today, because we need it.
Right.
So, new crew chief change.
Yeah,
Cliff
that's
Daniels,
huge.
who's now our new crew chief. That's big. You know,
That's huge.
He
I
was
mean,
the
I
car
can-
chief for the team for a while, so.
I can definitely see why that's happening. In any other big sport, and they're losing. It's not the star player that's getting freaking sacked. It's the coach.
Yeah, and that's what happens. And why make the change now? It's before the playoffs. We still have some time to maybe do something.
Yeah,
And the way he's been running,
must-win situation.
and the way he ran this week on practice and qualifying, there might be light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, who knows? I'm hoping so. I really hope so. But we'll see. We'll see. We really will. That's the only I can tell. Chase Elliott's on the pole today.
Yeah.
So that was back. So that's really good start. William Byron second. So that's. Hendrick is right there. Johnson, he said, was on row 4, so.
I'm pretty sure he's on row 4. Yeah.
So that's optimistic right there for Hendrick. So that
the
means
18's up there.
Of course he is. The 19 I saw is up there. Even
Yeah.
Kurt Busch is up there. He's actually up alongside Jimmy Johnson. So.
Yep. The 42 is starting in like 8th,
Denny
9th, 10th spot or something like that.
Hamlin's up there.
Kevin Harvick's and I know he's in the top 20, which is anywhere Kevin Harvick starts outside of the top 20. I'm not going to pick him, but he's inside the top 20, so he's got a shot.
Harvick, he could sneak up there and do it.
I mean,
I can see him do it.
if Cole Custer can come from 35th and finish 6th, then he can do it.
Oh yeah, of course. Kevin Harvick can do anything.
He's
at
a
that
race
point.
driver.
Absolutely.
You just can't say he's not.
Harvick's awesome. I love Kevin Harvick. I respect him a lot.
What about yesterday? No, it was Eldora, the winning guy with his kid.
Oh,
Did you see the kid?
Stuart Friesen?
Yeah,
No,
Stuart
his
Friesen's kid gets like the cute kid of the ward year award. I mean, that kid was
And,
awesome.
and look at this guy. He wouldn't say that about anybody. Look at him.
Right.
So for him to say that, hey, that's pretty.
I'm sitting there I'm watching this race with my wife, and at the end, she just wanted to see what Stuart Friesen actually looked like because we were discussing the whole Tony Stewart saga throughout the years, and she just wanted to see what the kid looked like. And there he is in his father's arms, just being a cute kid, and then he puts the kid on the car and he starts stomping around on the back of the truck, and then jumps back into his arms. It was one of the cutest father-son moments I've ever seen on a track.
Someone was very excited that Daddy won. Let's just say that.
Right?
and rightfully so, because that was overdue, Stuart. Friesen, you were owed one, buddy. So congratulations for the big win. And not only did he did it on Del man, he did it right on the dirt.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. That really is. Congrats, buddy. What else? Did you watch any of that racing last night at Langley Speedway, Berlin?
I watched the end of Langley, and a couple of weeks ago we were just watching stupid stuff on.
It was actually last Saturday. It was right here.
That we were watching Fans Choice, of course, and we watched Langley, and we didn't know who the hell we were looking at. We were just like, I'll pick that car. I'll pick this car. And one of the cars I picked was the 21. And hell, you tell him, you watched most of that race.
So yeah, no, he picked the 21 last week and he was killing it. And then he fell off, and then he ended up finishing like top 5 or something. And then so last night here I am sitting there, and I'm like, oh, and here comes the second to last main feature. And there's that guy again with all the other cars. I was like, oh shit, I gotta call him. I said, hey dude, you might want to watch this, man. I go, that 21, they're saying like he could dominate tonight and all that stuff. Green flag waves, he's just gone. He started last.
He
Went to
won
the
the
pack,
first
and
feature,
he
and
won
then
the- and
started
came back
last again, and won the second feature. I was
won
like,
it.
I saw like the last half of that second feature, and that guy was on a rail. The 21 car, hats off to you.
Yeah, 21. You killed it, dude. That was badass. I have to say. And then
that car set up perfectly. Your tires didn't fall off like it did the first time I watched you, and that's lessons learned. And you learned your lesson, and you dominated.
I want to talk about that last race, though, that last night feature there.
I didn't even watch half of it because the car that I picked immediately went to the back and then had a huge wreck. I'm just like, you know what? Stop.
Oh, dude, dude. So anyway, I guess it was like a 30-lap race, right? And it was I don't even know what they're called.
I mean,
I don't even know what these cars are called. They're like
just little four-bangers, little
yeah, they're little
Hondas.
these little ass cars. But there was so many of them. There had to be at least like 30 to 40 of them.
I think there was 35 cars.
Yeah, 35, and they were up there. And
so Enduro. That's what they were doing. It's an Enduro.
So apparently, There's no fucking such thing as a caution flag. It's just if a crash happens, just a red flag. They stop it, and then there's a countdown.
And then they start it again.
They just go right off the rip. So I was watching that, and trust me, it was like Survival of the Fittest. It doesn't matter who you, what place you are, as long as you survived the fucking chaos that was going on in that race. I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. I was like, oh, this guy's dying. Oh, this guy crashed. This guy's off the track.
They do the enduro races a lot at Seacon.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, and they have. I went to Labor Day there once and did a demolition derby. And they did like 3 different enduros. They did a figure 8. I mean, it was chaos. Let alone the 125 cars on the track for the demolition derby at the end.
Oh yeah, yep, 100 plus demolition derby. That
me driving a Plymouth Reliant K in 1984. I was scared to death.
I bet.
I went head on with a Chevy Caprice, and I saw my life flash before my eyes when we hit. Head on. Bam! My seatbelt was broken. The seat back was ripped off. I was holding myself up by the steering wheel, which was going like this the whole time. When I saw that car coming straight at me, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna die. Mad at it. Boom! Hit. I'm looking at it either way you want to look at it. I was either the 94th or 95th car taken out of that, and I was scared. And I was happy, and I was scared, and I was terrified, and I was elated. I went through every single emotion a man can go through in a car. Besides ecstasy, I didn't get there, but. Well, we got a preview for next week.
Next week, and where are we going next week? We got
I have no idea.
It's a good question.
You're the stat hole. You should know this shit. Look it up.
I know. I know it.
I do know what's coming up, and we got Indy cars at Pocono coming up on the 19th.
Got what?
Indy at Pocono.
That is true.
That's a huge, dangerous
that is right. We do have
race.
talked about that.
I mean, the Indy cars at anywhere in an oval or the Tricky Triangle itself is just, you got to watch it because you want some entertainment, you want to see some close racing, you want to see death staring at people in the face. Those are the guys to watch. Is Indy on an oval.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Oh, all right.
That was fun the first time I went there on that Monday night.
Yeah, this aero package works well there.
I mean, listen to this schedule we got coming up. We got Michigan. We got Bristol night race. Then we got Darlington, Southern 500. Then we got Indy. Boom. First race of the chase or the playoffs. Las Vegas.
Well, all we're going to concentrate on is the next 4, because right now, all we can really worry about is the next 4. Well, see who's going to get into that
Can't
playoff.
cut me off here. Because after that is Richmond.
Oh, yeah? Huh? Yeah, he's going to be there.
And I will be there, so that I had to say it. Yes, I'll be there in the pits for the first time, my first night race. So I'm excited. I'm going to be Facebook Live in it from our NASCAR page, so that you can all see it. So I'll be there. Oh, I'll be there. Oh, yes, I will. I will be there. I'm gonna see if I can try to maybe even go to the Xfinity race the night before, because that's the first round of the playoffs for them.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm gonna see if I can, see what I can do. You know, there's a race there. It's kind of hard for me not to want to go. So, it's like every time I go to New Hampshire, I feel like I have to be there. It's not fair when I don't go.
Right.
But yes, I'm excited.
Weather gods cursed us this time. I wasn't gonna deal with it. Not my big 250-pound ass.
Yeah. Before we also want to talk about the points real quick and what to look for today. Who should?
A lot of desperation. We got Jimmy Johnson, just desperation mode. You got to finish.
He needs to win. He's in a must win.
If you ain't first,
we need Newman
you're
and we need
last.
like Boyer and stuff to not do good.
Yeah. He ain't first, he's last. You know, that's the kind of deal he's in. He's a must win.
So Johnson's behind him.
Who's behind Johnson? Because
Johnson's Daniel Suarez.
There's only like 2 or 3 people there that are numerically into it without winning.
Johnson's behind by 9 points right now.
Yeah, he can get it.
And then there's Daniel Suarez, who's right behind him. We got Paul Menard, Ricky Stenhouse, Chris Buescher, Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon.
You're gonna look at those points. I mean,
I'm saying these names, but I'm not seeing these guys be.
Even if you win, there's only so many even points back. Even with a win, you don't get in.
Yeah, a lot of these guys cannot get in points-wise as I'm looking at this. And you can see it
right.
yourself. A lot of these guys cannot get in by points. The only
Yeah,
one
even
that,
with the win.
I mean, Daniel Suarez is on the verge of it, and he's
Yeah,
he's
people that are just numerically out.
he's-
All they want to do is win
he's
a race.
20 points back.
Right.
So it's everyone else after that. And I looked up the names, and I just was naming them just to you guys to hear. None of them are going to be a real threat to win a race.
No.
If not this year at least. Just I don't. At the
I don't
of the
see it.
season, and out of those guys, I don't see the only one obviously
But
is.
blind, stupid doodah luck has claimed the fate of many a restaurant.
Nope, that already happened.
Right.
That already happened to Daytona. Justin Haley. The miracle fucking thing already happened. So.
Right, but then again, it happens all the freaking time. We know it.
The
We
only
watched
way that'll
Jimmy
happen
Johnson
today.
win a championship because of blind, stupid doodah luck.
No, I thank Joey Logano and Carl Edwards for that one, man. Both of them just took each other. Thank you.
That was
Carl Edwards' ever last race too.
That was, the miracle and the stupidity of racing right there. I mean,
I miss
you
that
gotta
guy.
love it.
I miss that
You
guy.
gotta love it.
I wish he was still racing. I miss that guy.
Well,
Carl Edwards.
also, there was a lot of talk about, the announcers and whatnot, and who's doing a good job and whatnot.
Oh, me and we sat down for like a good hour, and since Darrell Waltrip left, we were sitting there. Who would be a great commentary to come in? And the only two I could think of was Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards.
I think Carl Edwards would be much better because Carl Edwards would be much more impartial. Tony Stewart would just, there's no way that he could be impartial about it. And then I know we've got a lot of Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, and he's out there, he's announcing right now. But sometimes he gets too overexcited about what's going on the track. He can't hold himself in check enough to make it impartial enough to agree with everybody. And that's, part of being, a rookie and announcing it, because as far as I'm concerned, you're a rookie announcer for the first 5 years you're doing it.
5 years?
Yeah, because announcing's for these guys, I mean, it takes a lot more than just getting behind the mic and doing it. It takes a long time for them to really get into that, question and answer while a race is going on, answering the questions that your own having your own mind kind of thing before you say them. I mean, he doesn't have that yet, and that takes a long time to really get that down. Either that or you're a natural, you're born with it. And I'm sorry, Dale Jr., you're just not born with that.
Another thing I wanted to say was the announcing, and like you were saying, also there's a lot of things that can happen that you can't, like rain.
Mm-hmm.
Like how are you supposed to say for now you're in the rain? Like you need to fucking literally for hours on end be giving coverage to something and talking to someone, going to and being like, okay, all right, let's show them this, or let's talk about this, or even when crashes are happening or something, just out of note, like
you gotta
you gotta be able to
for 20 minutes.
You gotta be able to sit there and still talk about this and talk about that fluently without being like, okay, so.
You can't be sitting there.
I guess we're gonna go commercial because exactly.
Okay, boss, what do I do now?
I guess we're gonna go commercial now until they come back because we have no clue what we're gonna say. So enjoy 50 commercial. Obviously they're not gonna do that to us. You know what I mean? So give them one a credit, and you can always tell who the best ones are and who just. It's just not for you. Everyone's got their favorite broadcast. In any sport, even football especially. Everyone's got their favorite broadcasting crew. Everyone has the ones they don't like for whatever reason. There's always that people. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I like Tony Romo in NFL. He doesn't. And that's how it is, though. And that's literally what it is. Everyone's got their own set of favorite things, and you got to respect them all, though. And you can tell, like I said, the ones that you like, the way they talk to you, and the ones that are just like, all right, I think he's an idiot. And that's how it is with broadcasting. Hit or miss. You really can be hit or miss. So give them credit for that, too.
All the people that hated Darrell Waltrip on there, and I hate his brother. That's for damn sure. And he's just the most annoying voice I've ever heard in my life.
But as saying that,
but he's just a born talker. Both of them are just chatterboxes. They can't help themselves. You know what I mean? You want to kill a Waltrip? Sew their mouth shut. The heads will explode.
Oh, I mean, I did like Darrell though.
Darrell's.
I did buy Darrell. Like, I'm just saying, like, put in the voices and all that stuff. His broadcasting itself and what he brought.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it. Yeah.
He brought a lot to the page, even with that corny boogity crap.
It stuck.
He still brought a lot to the table, and those are big shoes to fill. That's what I'm going to end that subject with. This huge Phil.
I respect that, dude. That's awesome. I mean, I respect what you're saying right there. I'll cheers to that. I mean, for you.
He was an ambassador to the sport, love him or hate him, that brought the sport forward for decades.
And you know, my generation and later generations won't ever realize, unless you look back and look, how good he really was of a race car driver.
Oh yeah.
How successful his career actually. He was actually, when I started really watching racing, he was that guy that was in the back, the provisionals, the what's a Darrell, you know what I mean? Like, as generations go, the drivers get old, they start doing bad. He was one of those guys, and then like my dad was like, oh no, he back in the day. I'm like, nah, bullshit. And then of course I got old and looked at it, and I'm like, wow, actually you were fucking really good. Like, holy shit. Like,
that's the reason why Dale Earnhardt wanted to beat the crap out of him every single time.
That rivalry, oh my god, that rivalry was.
That was a great rivalry. That's something that we don't have in the sport right now. Is that great rivalry? We've got a bunch of little bitches arguing across the track.
And if you look at it though, man, and this is what I look at Earnhardt. If you look at all the rivalries, and always the good ones in NASCAR, him and Darrell Walter, him and Rusty Wallace, him and Jeff Gordon, him and Terry Labonte. It's always, he's been in the middle of so many good. And now, okay, what makes a rivalry, me and him, this is what we say. Right. A rivalry has to be week in and week out. Like, they're both altercations every now and then. That's not a rivalry. A rivalry is when you're both literally week in and week out. Okay, what's going to happen between these two this week? What's going to happen between these two? Oh, Lee won this week, and then all of a sudden he wins next week. That's a rivalry. Right. You know what I mean? Not just because me and him. I'll do that next week. Oh no, we're good, buddy. Yeah, next week. No, that is just a conflict. That's all that is. Me and him would be like, all right, next week you got me this week, motherfucker.
All right,
and next week I got you.
Game on.
That's a rivalry, and
the Yankees, Red Sox, the Bruins, the Montreal. Those are freaking rivalries.
Patriots versus the whole fucking NFL.
Those are rivalries. But what's going on? I mean, today.
I mean, think about it.
There's no real rivalry.
Name one NASCAR rivalry. Exactly. Name one.
There's just one thing. One bad guy. That's it. That's all we got. There's one bad guy. Half the people hate him. Probably 2/3 of the people hate him, and then there's another third that love him. And that's kind of
there is.
That's all we really have right now.
There is no hardcore rivalry.
In this, I mean, he could have a rivalry, but he just messes with everybody. So,
I think you'll agree with this. The closest rivalry right now would probably be him and Truex.
And there's all
I think that's and there's no bad blood. And in the last couple of races, they haven't really been near each other to be like it kind of died down for a little while. That they actually were. I was like, all right, this could be an actually in-house rivalry. But now Truex has been quiet the last few weeks. Kyle Busch has kind of been there, but not. So it's been like it died down. So now there goes that. I think there goes that whole saying that's a rivalry out of the window.
Right.
You're right, dude. It's kind of sad because it's fun to see the two, like these, just even if it's not your favorite driver, see two guys go out. Like,
this is not the first time we've had this conversation.
No, it isn't. It's just
it is something we need. We desperately need.
It just you need faces and stuff like that to get that like Jeff Gordon, the Darth Vader versus the pretty boy. You know what I mean? Back in the day, that was, and people were watching just because not only that they both were winning.
Yeah, so nobody really.
You don't see that no more.
There was a lot of people watching that didn't watch racing. They just wanted to see what was going to happen between those two.
I mean, it was literally hear a little bit of country, I'm rock and roll.
Right.
You like being on Saturday night. I like to be at the ranch. You know what I mean? I will go fishing. He's gonna go out. Go partying. It was literally the young stud versus that was just, you can't ever beat that. You know that rivalry, man. You can't beat that rivalry.
And we don't want to recreate that rivalry.
No, absolutely not. We want a
new one with new circumstances and new things to
It's a new day and age. This
is what we do. We're sitting there bitching about shit.
and we're just adamant on the rivalry thing because the sport needs it. That's the most important we're just trying to get down to. The sport needs a rivalry. It's just not fun without it.
I think we can end it on that.
Yeah. Let's end it on there. You know what? And we actually went a little further, but we're now trying to base about a half hour now, just because, we're getting up there and we got more to say now.
Hey.
So, thank you guys for listening to everybody. And I just wanted to say a quick shout out to Matt Lewinsky for the shirt. Love it, guys. You guys are awesome down at Autogo, so appreciate the business hustle because you guys go to Pizza Palace all the time. So, thank you guys for everything. And we are going to head out now, and you guys all have a great day.